Hey, 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 it's Kristen Lee, aka Super K, and I want to ask you if you've contemplated the last 3 months of 2024. Now that Q1 is over, do you feel there was more you could have done in your life to push your business, your personal life, your family relationships to another level that you feel you kind of slacked on? Well, I'm going to be honest and upfront. There has been a number of things I feel and know I could have done better to help myself become the best version of myself, to help others become the best version of themselves, to be available to be the best person, to interact with other people. And so I reflected last night on, all right, what have I created? What have I done? And I noticed I have a lot of information that I've been holding on to because of fear that the message isn't perfected. The idea isn't complete. I need to get it perfect before I speak to the world about my visions or create that perfect product. And that is my perfectionism sabotage quality, is trying to make everything perfect. And so what I want to do is work on myself to become the best version of myself this year. Over the past 3 years, I've done a lot of soul searching, really opening my heart to possibilities. And I stopped doing online marketing because it came to a point where I got frustrated the way the industry was, where only 1% of those that try to get into it succeed. And I ended up doing a challenge, my last one before I ended up stopping marketing 3 years ago. It was called the 30 for 30 challenge, where for $30 in 30 days, see how many people you can help succeed. And I was able to help 10% of the new members that came in succeed in making their first sales. That felt good, but I still felt like there was something missing, and I wanted to find what that was. So I swore to myself I would not come back into the affiliate marketing arena until I knew I had figured out why people don't succeed, and there's only 1% of the population that does, and figure out how to help them. Good morning, good morning. And so I had stopped everything. I could have kept going in marketing, but I said, you know what? It's not fair to have people keep spending money and not succeeding. And I would see so many people lose thousands, tens of thousands of dollars in that hopes and dreams that they would make the same money I was or some other, big marketer was. And so I wanted to dig in deep, and it actually brought me to my knees. It made me depressed to go, wow, it breaks my heart to see all these people trying to make it for themselves. And I was there at one point where I was trying to change my business and getting to a new business. Good morning. Morning. And it was a difficult time because I had to reinvent myself, come into the marketing world as a nobody. No one knew me. And within a year, I ended up creating a brand that was able to help more people. So what I realized in all of this time that I've taken off is the mindset is so important. And yes, we've heard this all the time of the mindset. And there's plenty of things, your false beliefs, your limiting beliefs. And we get coaching to break those down. However, I saw so many people getting coaching to it and, feeling good for the moment. And then 30 days later, they'd fall back in their bad habits of procrastination, of feeling unworthy. And so I really dug in of going, all right, I want to know. I heard, know thyself. I said, okay, well, what does it truly mean to know thyself? And I believe what was shown to me was knowing yourself on a atomic level, being a micro in the macro, and figuring out on a cellular level, on a, atomic level, what is it that makes us feel the way we do, think the way we think, believe what we believe. And belief is huge. If you don't believe you can succeed and you have any doubt and fear, that's a vibration you're sending out into the world, quantum field. So I started digging into quantum physics, neuroscience, epigenetics. I want to see why I, at the top of my game, making crazy money, helping so many people, fell down and fell into like a dark night of the soul. And I realized it was on a cellular level. I was focusing on all these people failing and feeling sad and sorry. And I said, you know what, I need to figure out why these chemicals are creating these emotions in me, how I can change it without going on medication, how I can lift myself up so I know how to lift others up. And during this time, it actually was on December 2021, and I haven't really shared this whole story with people, but I'm hoping this will help someone, because we are upon this spiritual awakening. And I was reawakened to the beauty of what life is and what we are. When I heard know thyself, I learned we are divine beings. We are a fragment of the Creator, and we are made in the likeness and image of God. And so why do we feel so low and worthless and, not worthy of being a creator? And we are co-creators of our reality. And what I realized through tons of testing and facts from when I was younger is we are co-creators of our reality. However, we've been told that we are just, your path's already been chosen for you, just deal with it. And we create our reality. Our vibration, our energy emitted from us. We have something called a biofield around us. It's an invisible life force energy. And it emanates from our heart, has an electromagnetic field 60 times greater than our thoughts. So, when people say manifest this, they use words, but they're in energy, their vibration and their frequency do not match that manifestation. They don't believe it's possible. They have doubt. So it's important to remove the doubt and replace it with belief. But this manifestation things that were happening is, you can believe for the moment, but then you feel unworthy again. So what was important, I found, is changing that biofield, because that biofield is determined by your emotions. What's coming out of your heart, that electromagnetic field coming out of your heart, is putting energy into this biofield of yours. And I actually have a scanner, so I test my biofield every single day. It tells me what organs are out of balance, how much energy in joules is emanating from my life force energy, where my nervous system, where the energy is aligned or not aligned. And by doing this, I created a science experiment with myself. So what I'm doing over the next 90 days, I want to challenge you guys if you want to go on this journey with me. It's really fun. And I am putting all together the things that I have done over the last 3 years that I found success of manifesting, creating, co-creating the things I desired in my life. Now, when I stopped, I had this vision. It was given to me of starting a nonprofit called the Heart and Soul Project to help open the hearts of humanity and reignite their souls to remember their passion. It's not finding your passion, remembering what your passion is. What did you do when you were 4 is when we really start to remember memories, 4 to 15, before you had to get a job. What was that thing that you loved to do when you didn't have to have a job or do chores? What was it that you did with your friends or by yourself? For me, it was painting, it was drawing, it was playing musical instruments. And I have, now that I am older, I realized each one of those things disappeared as I had to become responsible and get a job. Debbie, best first quarter of my life. I love to hear that. Mine was not the best. It was a beautiful first quarter, but I know I held myself back from giving my all to myself. And that's what I'm aiming to do. And I hope that if you guys haven't given the all, and it's not the all in just business, but to yourself, where we don't give ourselves enough self-care. And I know Debbie has taken this first quarter to give herself that self-love. She's a beautiful friend of mine. And I just have loved watching her journey. And it really ignited in me, watching Debbie do this, I do it to an extent, but I want to give more to myself. Self-love is not selfish. It's necessary, because you figure, how can you serve from an empty cup? We're supposed to be serving from the spillover in our saucer, because we have filled ourselves up with so much love, joy, gratitude, thankfulness, that we emanate this light. Our biofield extends, which we can just go to the grocery store and be in that high vibrational state and smile at someone, and that energy, they can feel it coming from our heart, that it's genuine, and that can change someone's life. And I want to challenge you to be the change you want to see in the world. We all want peace, harmony, love, connection, community. So I want to challenge you all to work on being that change you want to see. okay? We have to all, this is the message of the Heart and Soul Project, we all have to be the change we want to see in order to raise the vibration of what that mean. Consciousness is a state of, it's awareness. We need to be more aware in this present moment. How are we feeling? And be honest with ourselves. Like, I'm feeling a little tired today. Okay, well, why? And sit in a state of meditation. You don't have to close your eyes and try to think nothing, but sit in a state of meditation, contemplation, and ask yourself, why do I feel tired? Where have I not been giving myself enough love to feel my optimal best? Could be you didn't get at least 8 hours of sleep. Could be you're overloading your plate. It could be you're stressing or you're playing a thought loop over and over again of someone you're frustrated with or angry with that you haven't forgiven. This is so important that we take this moment to truly focus on what it is that's taking our energy, because that energy is coming from that biofield I just spoke about, that life force energy. And when we don't pay attention to where that energy is going, and I'm going to tell you right now, a majority of our energy is going to negative repetitive loops. They say you have like, I don't know the exact numbers, so don't quote me, but like 60,000 thoughts a day. 95% of those thoughts are repetitive thoughts that we think every day, and that's the negative self-talk. It's the, oh man, you failed on that one, good job. You know, oh man, this sucks, I did it again. Or playing a repetitive conversation of someone that you're in disagreement with rather than in forgiveness. And forgiveness isn't for them, it's for us. To break that energetic tie that is giving them our life force energy because of that non-forgiveness. Now, when we start focusing on being aware of our life force energy, and you don't need that bio-well scanner I talked about, but just notice, okay, I'm feeling tired today. Well, you know, I stayed up last night and I was thinking a lot of XYZ. I'm going to try to handle that and sit in this contemplation right now and see why it triggered me. Where did it come from? How can I change this state to be more joyful for me and happy for me? Because you deserve happiness. We all deserve it. And honestly, it's funny. I was at a BNI meeting this morning and I'm smiling. I'm always smiling because smiling is the greatest way to release oxytocin. And a smile is so powerful, especially when truly felt from the heart. Open that heart up and genuinely be present for that person in front of you. And everybody said, there's maybe two that didn't because they were in a rush. They said, you know what? Your smile, being the visitor host, I'm the visitor host there, it brightens my day. Wow, thank you for that smile. Your energy is so beautiful. It really helps me. And I realized, wow, we all can do this for one another. Just smile a little bit more and try to make it a habit. I notice when I'm sitting in front of my computer, I start smiling for no reason. A challenge for me, but a challenge I am ready and willing to take. So what I'm going to do is over 90 days, I actually created a book, Transform Your Life, and 90 Days to Transforming Your Life. And what it is it's like 300 pages. Every day, you let yourself know, how are you feeling? You literally write it down. Like, there's options there. What are you feeling? You mark it off so you are aware of what you're feeling that day. Good, bad, indifferent. Then you think about 3, 10 or more is ideal, but 3. Start off easy. 3 things you're grateful for, and they could be small or they could be huge. But science has discovered gratitude every day. It's, especially when it's from your heart, sends out this beautiful electromagnetic field out into the quantum field that touches others without us knowing. We become the energy for the collective consciousness. Now, those of you who may not be familiar, this is more of a spiritual type talk. Oh my gosh, I got so much mail. Where the collective conscious is how humanity as a whole is thinking, is feeling. And right now, I'm going to be honest, because of mass media, they have a lot of people in fear, especially about April 8th. Now, if you've heard anything about April 8th of the lunar eclipse that was negative, that is the story you're seeing a lot on is, oh my gosh, it's going to be the end of the world, the apocalypse, electricity may go out, food shortages, this and that. And you know what? If that happens, it was meant to. And I see visions, and we have 2 trajectories we can take. There's 2 things that could be possible. Yes, that lunar eclipse could have so much energy because of the beauty of how, the last one, every path that it took, it went through Salem, and now it's going through, I can't remember off the top of my head right now, cities with the same name again. But what I got as an awareness, a download, I'd call it, a vision, is that this is going to be a profound moment in history. Yes. And yes, the electricity may go out because so much energy is flooding into our planet. But this energy doesn't have to be bad. So yes, be prepared. Have some extra food if that's your worry, and water and cash on hand in case electricity does go out for a few days until they get the grid back up. Have some cash so that way, you can purchase things because there's no electricity. There may be no, credit card swiping. Prepare. Don't fear. But know this energy that is coming. I got this download the other night, and then I saw a video of a woman who is a channel speaking this, and I was like, I picked up what you were putting down, girl. And what it is the energy that's emanating. It's actually allowing us to charge our vessels, in a sense, and whatever state of emotion you're in at that time, it will be amplified, okay? It's going to amplify the energy that is within you. What is the vibration? That's what I mean by it. The vibration, the emotion. So I would suggest working every day. 7 days is a beautiful, 7 is a beautiful number. Work the next 7 days before this comes and be in that gratitude heart space. Open your heart to love and gratitude for this planet, for this earth. Send out love and vibrations and say a prayer of thank you. Thank you, God, for bringing this beautiful message to us, showing us what is capable when we focus our intention on love, on you, and what is possible through this message. Because yes, the devil can take over, which is what I feel many are following, is that fear of this eclipse and reading all the negative. Yes, the devil can win, but light and love can too. And what we have to do is just know that we are divine beings. We can use our heart in order to change the trajectory of an outcome of anything. And it may sound woo-woo and crazy, but we have control of weather too. Our hearts are so powerful. The electromagnetic field from our hearts can change the weather when a collective is not in fear of a tornado and hurricane. And this was proven, I believe it was 2008, here actually in the Gulf. They had a group of meditators, I think it was 1,000, and they all meditated at the same time of love and gratitude that the hurricane would not hit. And that year, because they had an oil spill, it was going to cause an issue with the oil in the water in the Gulf, that it was going to could cause a reaction of a fire. So they prayed, and not a single hurricane hit the Gulf. You watch the path. If you go online, you can watch it and Google this information. It's true. It moved, and not a single one hit land, which was beautiful. So the power of our heart is so powerful. And I want to show you something where this picture was my grandmother's. And before she passed, she asked me, is there anything you'd like of mine? I said, honestly, that picture of Jesus that she got from the American Needs, this is what I wanted, because this picture has spoken to me since I was younger. And if you look, he's got his hands showcasing the energy of the heart. And look at the cross. This is a message. And then do you see around his head that crown of light? That's the quantum field. That's the consciousness. That's the Christ consciousness. And if you notice the patterns, that sacred geometry, all of the clues are in front of us if we awaken to start learning about things that are not being taught to us. And so 3 years ago, I told myself, I'm going to forget everything I was taught. And I'm going to discern and ask for guidance from God, from Jesus, from Buddha, from ascended masters, spirits, angels, and see what happened. It was an experiment. I'm like, I don't know if this is real. Let me try and see. I don't know if I can really speak to my higher self. I read I could. So you know what? If you believe, let's try it out. My life changed. I now feel like sometimes I have Jesus speaking to me directly when I ask questions. And like another one right here, this beautiful picture is pointing. He's got his heart right there. And even Mother Mary, like you see the flame. This is the biggest message. I don't know if anybody else follows it that way, but I feel like they're crying out for us to focus on our heart. And now that science has figured out the heart has an electric magnetic field 60 times greater than our mind. And if our minds are so powerful to create our reality, imagine what our hearts can do. And this is the mission of the nonprofit, the Heart and Soul Project, to help people open their heart, like truly open it. Not go, yeah, I love this and that. Truly open their heart to the possibilities of the change we can be. We need to be the change for humanity. We can't expect the change to happen. And yes, I know some people that go, well, I'm waiting for Jesus to come back. This is the end of times, Revelation. I believe, and I would love to see Jesus walk the earth again, but I believe, and when I was meditating and praying and asking Jesus, what does it mean? And I heard the Christ consciousness will be reawakened. The consciousness that he had connected, knowing he was God, that he was divine, he was connected to God. He was able to do beautiful things of healing, and he saw everybody as whole and complete just the way they were. And many times we look at people and we end up keeping them in that low place and not looking at them as whole and complete, because we go, oh, I'm so sorry for you. And instead of going, well, I'm sending you love. I'm sending you high vibrations. I'm sending you compassion because I see you as wholly complete. And when two or more are gathered, praying about the same thing of that beauty and whole and completeness for someone, the magic that happens, it's beyond our understanding. Our human mind can't comprehend what Jesus knew. And when I hear, what would Jesus do? I realized that, as a kid, I didn't really pay attention to that so much. But what would Jesus do? He would not judge. He would see people as whole and complete. He would love. If you read the Bible and hear all the stories of how he loved and the people that everybody judged, like the prostitutes, he did not judge. Now, my hope with this nonprofit is to help remove judgment. Judgment from color, from race, from religion, to beliefs, to everything. Because when we understand at a cellular level that we are all the same divine light of God, the infinite creator, fragmented out with a gift given to us. Every person has a beautiful gift that only you can bring to this world. And that is our purpose. And we've forgotten about this purpose. And my hopes with this nonprofit is to help people find their purpose, their passion, and their superpower, which is their hearts. And when you reignite that soul to remember your passion, getting back to what I was talking about of finding that passion that you used to love, many times our purpose is hidden in that passion we had as a child that we forgot about because we were told, get a job to survive, and we're just getting 6 or 7 jobs just to survive in these times, where we actually need to follow our passion. Because that passion, I'm going to tell you right now, I've experienced this, and it's beyond my understanding on how this happens, other than quantum field, my heart, energy, gratitude, asking for grace, meditating to expand my energy field to attract to me, because you don't get what you want, you get what you are. And that confused me the first time I heard that. My dog is digging at my my meditation buckwheat seed. So you get what you are, not what you want. So this is so powerful. What you are is your energy, your frequency, and your vibration. So if your biofield energy is contracted because of depression, it's really hard to co-create what you want with the creator. He is the creator of all. And I hate to say he because it's not an entity. It's not male or female. It is just is. It's one. It's unity. It's the one, the creator. And I believe it is a source energy of love and beauty and infinite intelligence. And again, that's my belief. Some believe other things. It's a man in the sky, and that's beautiful. The thing is don't judge someone else's belief, because what they believe is true to them. And it took me a long time to understand that, because I used to argue with my, people. They would fight me on my belief, and, I'd look at them and go, no, but that's not true to me. And then I realized we all have our own perception. Our worldview is different because everybody sees through their own eyes. We could be at the same place and look at the same thing and see it totally different. It's what vibrational energy state emotionally we're at that time dictates how we see things. So whatever you believe is beautiful, as long as you understand there's something greater than us that created us, more than just our mom and dad, because they were created too. And I learned something last night in a class. Did you know it takes 4,094 humans in your generation to create you? How crazy that. It took 4,094 people to connect, create, birth, in order for you to be here today. That blew my mind. Like, you are so divine that you chose to come at this time, and to believe we chose to come, some people go, I would never choose the life I have. Well, I'm not going to get into it, but there's karma and past lives if you believe in that stuff. And it doesn't really matter for the trajectory of where we're going. What matters is that we realize where we are in the state of being now. So, do a body scan. How do I feel? Oh, I feel tense. I feel, aches and pains. That's emotional. Emotions are stored in our nervous system that cause those aches and pains. So we need to learn how to get them out. First starting way is to meditate, quieting your mind. When you get out of this, 3D realm and you go within, when you don't conform to the patterns of the world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, what happens with your brain and the neuroplasticity when you're quieting, going into that darkness and just sitting with the feelings in your body and noticing any thought that comes and go, is this useful for me to better myself right now? If not, put it in a box. If it does, focus on it. Get yourself aligned with you. Get to know thyself emotionally, physically, mentally. So I'm going to go into the other room to get my book. So what I suggest for myself is to align myself every day and do this body check every day. So for 90 days, I want to commit to myself to meditate every day. I meditate a lot, but sometimes I miss it or I'll rush it. So I want to commit to myself to meditate every day and try to wake up a little earlier before the kids wake up so I can truly focus. And I want to meditate and connect with my divine nature. I want to know that, I'm trying to look for something. I want to know that I am connecting with me, not letting anybody else distract me, and focus. And what I'm going to do is I actually wrote a book. Yes, I wrote a book. It's Ultimate Success Blueprint, 90 Days to Transform Your Life. And what this does is I have a little information on why, meditation's important, gratitude's important, I am affirmations are important. And then you go to your daily. So every day you go in and you'll write the things you have to do. Now, this isn't a normal to-do list, like I've got to do this meeting, that meeting. It can be, but what is important is writing to do some things for you. Something to pull out that passion again, whether it's, woodworking or painting. Find something to bring you joy. And then some notes. There's a notes area. There is a priority for today and for tomorrow, but also how are you feeling today? Fill that in. 3 things you're grateful for. Today's affirmation. I put affirmations in the back to help you. I am affirmations. Your mood, what you're grateful for. And then there's a page for notes. And what that is to contemplate. See the things that came in during that 5 minutes of closing your eyes to the world and focusing. And I did this when I first went through this 3 years ago. And I put everything in here that changed my life. And I had fallen out of it. And actually, I think it was subconsciously on purpose so I could redo it again and video my transformation. Because when I was doing this every day, synchronicities were happening nonstop. Manifestations were happening nonstop. I remember when I told my husband when I first started getting this vision for the nonprofit, I said, I need to buy a farm. And he's like, a farm? You're not a farmer. You know nothing. You can't even keep a plant alive. And so I was like, all right, I need a farmer. I went into meditation that night. And because it was probably like 9 o'clock at night. So when I went to bed at 10, I went and meditated and I just visualized seeing a farmer. I just saw a farmer. I didn't see a face. And I just visualized tending to a field of grass. And then I just felt grateful in my heart, really felt it in my heart of gratitude now as if it already happened. And sat there for, I think it was probably about 10, 15 minutes. And at the end I said, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thanking God that it was already done. Because if you ask, you shall receive. But you have to hit that vibration of what it is that you want. How would you feel the moment it happens? And I would feel grateful. So the next morning I wake up to go to my son's basketball game. And I stopped off to get gas. And I saw a truck in the parking lot. And it said badass painter. And out of my mouth, I don't know why, but I was like, hey, badass painter, do you have a business card? Don't know where it came from because I don't feel like it was my mind thinking, like my ego mind, because I wouldn't have. It would have been like, all right, whatever. And he goes, yeah, interior, exterior. I said, I don't know. I have a vision of a farm. So I'm guessing to be a building, maybe interior. He goes, a farm? I'm a farmer. I've been a farmer my whole life. I have 230 acres, but I started painting business because no one's using farmers right now. And this was 2 years ago. And I'm like, wow, actually 3. I was like, no way. He gave me his business card and he said, I think I'm your farmer. I found a farmer in less than 24 hours because I sat in gratitude, visualized it, and gave thanks. Got my vibration to a place of how I'd feel when it came to me, and I had it so strong, it came to me. This is the power of what God can do, what our consciousness can do, what our hearts can do, and we put them all together, We're powerful. We're divine beings. This is how we're supposed to live. We forgot our divinity. We are co-creators, and I want people to not feel as if that's an ego thing. We're co-creators with the Creator. We have to ask, we will receive, but we have to match it vibrationally and emotionally before it happens. We have to have faith, and we have to believe. These are things that are everywhere, but I don't think I was ever taught this. I had to learn this through my awakening, my spiritual awakening, and sit quietly and let it be shown through me and to me. It's nothing I had ever read. Yeah, you listen to all this positive stuff, but it never hit me the same way until I experienced it. So what I'm going to do, and if you guys want, you can search this on Amazon, Ultimate Success Blueprint, if you want to get yourself a copy and follow the 90 days for yourself. It's so powerful when you write it out, not just do it, but write it out, because then you can go back and go, wow, look how I've transformed and how my thoughts have changed and how my manifestations have come to fruition. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to work my best to every week create a video of clips from that whole week of doing my transformation blueprint book, sharing what I'm doing, and just not necessarily for you to have to do the same, like what I'm learning, what I'm studying, because I want to do a science experiment and use, so this is the BioWell machine. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to do a scan while I'm live with you and show you the results just for fun. Anybody who's still watching and interested in this stuff, it's really cool to see what is possible and what we can find within our body. And so I'm going to, hold on, I'm going to have to place this on my holder while I scan my fingers. And it's really cool because it tells me the energy and where it's going in my body in order to, so I know where I need to put more energy. There's Super K, she's hanging up there. All right, so I'm using this and I'm just putting my thumb into this. And then there's a software on my computer that it reads. And I'm going to do this to every finger. And it's going to tell me, because I haven't meditated today. I just got back from a walk. And I didn't walk on the beach today because I decided to do my live. But I walked out in nature and I walked in my forest real quick, the land I bought across the street. And what I want to do is see what I do that changes my biofield to extend it even further. And so right now, let me see if I can flip this. So I just did my scan, and here it shows I have 58 joules of energy. Okay, so this is my biofield around me. It looks really good. And you can see, let me go to someone else. So here's 41. You can see this broken. This is where I was working on helping him through false beliefs. And this was what was shown. It was 41 there. So you watch how it changes over time. So mine, I'm at 59. And you can see here, this is my nervous system. So I'm not really balanced so much. My heart is all the way over here. Well, I need to work on that in my meditation to get it centered and balanced, because we want to be balanced. And, you know, this isn't bad, but I'm working on, after my meditation, I've got organs out of balance, and it tells me my organ energy. So what I'm going to do is some breath work. And every time I do breath work, this ends up balancing everything out, all my organs, because my body is saying it needs more oxygen. Since I've been talking and talking fast, I was just on a walk, I've exerted a lot of energy, and my organs aren't getting the oxygen because I was talking at the same time rather than breathing in that fresh air. These little things matter. And by the time I do a breath work for about 15 minutes, and what breath work is I do a Tibetan breathing where you breathe in through your nose and you do it fast for about, 3 minutes, and then you hold your breath in, hold as long as you can, and then let it out. And then at the end, you squeeze every muscle in your body as you breathe in, and then you let it out. And so that's some of the stuff for the breath work. But when I do a scan before and after breath work, I get more energy than I had. So here's one from, actually I'll show you. This is from March 6th. I was at 59 joules, and then after my breath work, so you saw I start 10:39, I finished at 11:15, I jumped to 66 joules. That's beautiful. I got 7 more joules of energy in my energy field to be able to go out and be more light and love for humanity. So it's so important to focus on these little things, know thyself, how your body works, and help others by being the best version so we can become the change we want to see in humanity. And it all stems from being in your heart. Your heart is so beautiful and powerful. You saw those photos of Jesus and Mary that I showed you. The message has always been there. And then we've got Buddha, who meditates and goes within. all these beautiful religions, that some people judge of going, no, yours is wrong, mine is right, this, they all have a beautiful piece to the puzzle that when we pull it all together, it creates this unity of the message for all. We need to go within. The kingdom of God is within. And too many times we're so busy in this external world with jobs and kids and family and, duties and chores that we forget to take that time to go within and commune with God, ourselves, the higher selves, our spirit guides. Hear these messages that want to be heard over the ego chatter. And I noticed when I started meditating from before 16 years of just work, constantly thinking in my head, creating, I was creating chaos. Yes, I was creating success, but not permanent success. I've had my ups and downs, making a ton of money, making nothing. That is not how we're supposed to live. We're supposed to be whole and complete just the way we are. We're supposed to be abundant. And I noticed last year, I did an experiment where for a whole year, I really didn't work. I worked 80 hours the whole year and I ended up making more money. I made 7 figures in 80 hours of work, sporadic for the business I was doing. And I was sending out love. I was manifesting the perfect clients coming to me for me to help. It was beautiful. Now, I want you to know that it was the heart that did this, okay? My heart created this. The energy created this, connecting to God, connecting to the quantum field, connecting to gratitude and love, everything that God is, in order to bring beauty, not only for myself, but for others into this world. We all are capable of this, but we have to remove those false beliefs, remove that trauma, remove the unforgiveness. Forgiveness is the only way to truly transcend from this 3D realm into a 4D consciousness, a 5D consciousness. And what is that? 4D and 5D. 4D is connecting to your emotions, realizing that your emotions are the creators of your reality. As within, so without. So when you're in a state of shock or grief, it's in your nervous system. It's stuck energy. And so I actually do a modality that helps remove these blocks out of your nervous system. So that way now more light emanates. And it's proven. I do this bioscan on my clients before, most of them when they're live with me. And we increase their energy because they've removed that pain, shame, guilt, grief that's holding us all down. And so what I want to do, and I'm contemplating doing this, I'm creating a new website, It's Time for Success, and I'm going to share links to all of the places I go from what I'm doing. So you can watch my 90-day journey, go, wow, look at her transformation. Or we don't know what's going to happen in the 90 days, but I'm going to follow my success blueprint that I've put together over the last 3 years of what I did to find the success and find these manifestations to come to me, these divine blessings, these synchronicities. It's all God in action. And we are divine beings, a fragment of God's love and energy. We are love. And we forgot that. So I'm going to bring it back. And I figured, a lot of people talk about this stuff, but no one ever shows it in action. So I was like, okay, well, let me try and show it in action. Don't know how it's going to go. This is an experiment. It's all fun. But I'm going to start with this. So you can go on Amazon and get this book if you want. Ultimate Success Blueprint. Maybe in the comments I'll put a link for anybody who's interested and can't find it on Amazon. And just go along with it. Give yourself a goal of doing a week if 90 days seems too much. Get the book, do a week, and then go, wow, I feel better. Do 30 days, then do 60 days, then do 90 days. Don't stress yourself out. This is meant to be fun, an experiment, because I'm doing it for fun. And when at first I thought, I was like, oh my gosh, this is more work to put on my plate to film. No, this is supposed to be fun. And I want it to be so fun that it inspires others to change the way they live for themselves, but also for the collective consciousness of humanity. Because when we all start vibrating at a higher vibrational frequency, emanating more light in our biofields, like you saw, we are going to be that change that is going to bring this planet to peace, to harmony, to heaven on earth, the way we were intended to live and how it's supposed to be. And we are the change. We're not waiting for Jesus to come down. Why are we waiting for someone else to do the work? We are capable of helping, okay? So when everybody's like, I'm waiting for Jesus to change this planet, I'm sorry, guys. It'd be great, but why, if that would happen, I believe it's the consciousness of Christ that's going to awaken in humanity, that we are all going to remember that we are like Jesus. We are capable. He even said, you can do what I do and greater. But we're not taking these words literal because we go, how? I'm not God like you. I'm not this. We all are. We just forgot that we have a connection to this divine source of love, beauty, and infinite intelligence if we tune into it. And he's begging, I'd say he again, God is begging for us to awaken to the potential within us. He wants us to commune with us inside our hearts. and watch. You'll start hearing whispers of your soul guiding you. I now live every day letting my soul guide the way, and that's when the beautiful magic happens. Every day, magic can unfold in front of you. I experience it so much, and that's why I want to document it, because when I tell people, like, oh my gosh, this happened, and I call and I record the calls from their friends, I'm like, guess what synchronicity happened? Guess what beauty happened? And it was like, they were like, again, Kristen, what do you have, a shooting star up your butt? And I said, no, I have an emanating heart. My soul is reignited to knowing and waking up and realizing the beauty that we can change and create in this world. And I hope more people resonate with this message and go, you're right. Why are we just waiting for Jesus to come back to change? What if we're interpreting things wrong? I hope one day I get to see Jesus here on this earth, but I truly believe we can start with our Christ consciousness, that consciousness. You saw that picture of Jesus, of the sacred geometry of the crown of light around his head. That is Christ consciousness that we all have. And I know that for a fact because I've connected. It's also called the superconscious. I've learned how to connect to that consciousness. Actually, I'm doing a course right now and training again on this and seeing the power that we have to connect to this infinite intelligence and co-create with that intelligence. But it starts with meditating. When you meditate and quiet your mind, you actually reverse the signs of aging. You reduce stress. You relax your nervous system. You increase your immune system. Why wouldn't we want to do that for ourselves, right? Wake up 30 minutes earlier and sit and meditate. Be aware of your present moment. These are little things we can do today. Smile more. Be the joy you want to see in this world. And if we all do our part just a little bit more every single day, imagine the change we will see. Imagine if everybody could just smile a little bit more, could be grateful for something every day rather than complaining about their problems. Yes, problems are real. It's not going to change that. But what's beautiful, and I asked my husband this, I said, babe, I would love it if this world was just happy all the time. And he goes, but then you wouldn't know what happiness is if you didn't have anything to compare it to. So appreciate that low. Appreciate what is bringing you down for a time to reflect and be aware of what is it inside me that I'm feeling. Why am I feeling it? And how can I alchemize it and transmute it into finding joy, happiness, and laughter? Because guys, we're meant to have the attitude of gratitude. And the real secret is our feelings, what emanates from our heart. And joy is the key. If you can put those three together, you will live the most beautiful destiny. It will unfold in front of you. And when you follow that passion and that purpose, literally mountains are moved for you in ways that we can't humanly comprehend, like finding that farmer. Then I thought I needed a plant medicine healer. I saw it in my mind. The next day at Publix, found a plant medicine healer. But I grabbed his cart in the parking lot saying, oh, let me take that cart. I'm going in. Started a quick conversation. And it's like divine how things happen. Mountains are moved for you. Your heart energy, and we're all connected, guys. And this is what I've discovered that is my belief, is our hearts are where we're connected. We are connected to Mother Earth. Mother Earth has a heartbeat. Okay, she has a frequency, she has an energy. And when we connect our heartbeat to that of Earth and we synchronize and we have heart and brain coherence, everything is possible. And we just have to quiet our mind, get the heart moving and pumping and opening and emanating that love for ourselves, for others. And start with someone you love non-romantically, a pet, a child, a place you love to go. Sit in that thought process and watch it unfold. And you know what's so beautiful? Is by doing this and meditating, getting that heart space, we're actually removing the dis-ease from our nervous system, from our body, from our fascia, from our cells, that starts removing disease. And that's why you hear, if you hear Joe Dispenza and all these other, Jerry Sargent, where people go to retreats and all of a sudden their cancer's gone. They can see that when they were blind, they can walk when they couldn't. It's because they changed the energy and the vibration and frequency within them that stopped producing the chemicals that our emotions create. Anger creates cortisol. Love and joy and happiness creates chemicals, endorphins. And we are a chemical factory. And when you feed it the cortisol and all these chemicals that create cancer cells and tumors, we all have a cancer inside of us, dormant, the possibility that is created through those cells. And when we're in joy and laughter and peace and no trauma and we have forgiveness and no judgment, we literally are feeding our body the most beautiful chemicals to keep us young and youthful and our brains working positively and strong. And anything is possible when we are in a high vibrational state. And we need to stop watching this media and getting in that place of fear. Going back to April 8th, know that you have nothing to fear. In the sense, if you just mentally prepare, yes, okay, like I said, get some food, some money, just have stuff there, just in case if electricity goes out, you need to pay for things with cash, some extra canned food if you can't, you don't have a gas stove or whatever. But know whatever vibration, and this isn't a guarantee, but it was what was downloaded into me as a vision, and I heard someone else say they had the same vision, this channel, that whatever vibrational state you're in when that lunar eclipse goes by, it's going to be magnetized, because a lunar eclipse has a lot of energy. We get these solar flares and you notice your mood changes. And if you're in a lower vibration, you're sad, depressed, pain, shame, guilt, or grief, you're going to experience more of that. And what we have on this planet right now is a lot of fear, shame, pain, guilt, and grief. And we need to alchemize that and bring it to love and light, which God is. And when we do that and we take control and be the change we want to see, so I suggest this week, try to find a way to get up into a feeling of gratitude every day. Write down 3 things you're grateful for, because you will be that change that will be sending out that energy when this lunar eclipse goes over. You will pick up more energy it will magnify your energy state. Would you not want to feel more joy, love, and happiness? Of course, it will keep you out of that low state. If you're depressed, as this energy is flaring through this earth, you are going to magnify that vibration that you are, and it's going to be harder for you. It's going to be a little bit more challenging for you, because we are reflecting, projecting, as within, so without. You are projecting that in your reality. So you're going to have more stumbles and blocks. You need to stay in gratitude and love and compassion and kindness. And it sounds easy for me because I've been doing it for 3 years, where I can figure out when I'm getting in that negative loop and I can cut it off. But it's hard work. And it's work for a reason, because if everybody did it, it wouldn't be as gratifying. But we can. It's going to be so gratifying when we all do it together now. This is the time for the change. Let's bring the new world in a way we want it, not what's dictated by the government or society or the media of fear, worry, war. We have a choice. We can either come together or we can stay divided. And I know I do not want to be in a divided world anymore. I want all borders to love, and to know that we are all divine beings from the Creator, that we are meant to love each other and work together, not against each other. Because if times start to get tough, you don't want people, fighting for food and showing up, with guns. You want them to show up at your door and say, how can I help you? I'm struggling. I could use some, food. Let's create a garden, communal garden that we can all eat off of. Grocery stores are closed. There's no electricity. Well, you know what? You can still grow your own food. You can create a little garden in your house. I've got some peppers and tomatoes growing here, just practicing until I build my big garden outside. And this is the choice we have. Start growing your own food so you don't depend on others. And I know Derek, he's growing food where he is in Uganda. And it's so important to be self-sufficient in these times, so that way you don't have to depend on the government or anything else. And yes, you know what? The government can be used for good. We don't have to look at it bad, because we don't want to judge. No judgment. It is what it is. But it's showing up how we are reflecting it to be. So when we have grace and gratitude for what we have and what we're given by the government, we have a choice to watch that media. It's only being shown to us because people keep asking for more. They're feeding into it. And I honestly see a huge change coming, where soon this type of media is not going to be watched, because people are going to awaken to their divine nature, to that they want to be in a happy, joyful state. Because when they are, they attract more of what they want. But when they watch that news and they go in fear, they end up attracting more of that. Do it as a test for yourself. You don't have to believe a word I'm saying. I want you to discern it and try it out. Don't just discern it and let it go. Try it out. Say, you know what? I have no harm in this. All right, let me try to be grateful for 7 days in a row. Let me try to meditate for 5 minutes a day. And it doesn't mean go in and quiet your hands. Quiet your mind and just reflect. What am I feeling inside? How can I shift what if I don't like it? How can I transmute it into something that is higher vibrational? I promise you, if you can do this for 7 days, you can do it for 30. You can do it for 90. You can do it for a year. You can do it the rest of your life. But it takes will. And that's one thing I feel that we have let go of, our free will. Because we feel our circumstances are dictated and stuck and permanent because we've been stuck in them so long. we need to focus and learn that we can remove this with conscious intent. It's all about intent. You have to intend and stick to it for you, not for anyone else. And that's why I'm like, I'm going to stick to this for me, because I noticed myself this past quarter, I've let myself down a lot. I'd say I would do something for myself and I wouldn't, because I do something for someone else instead. And that's not bad. However, I forgot about me. I forgot about filling my cup. So I started getting empty, giving so much of me that I put out there offering it, but I started making my schedule so busy that I had no time for that self-reflection and self-love and my massages, my meditation time, my me time. I stopped giving it to me, and that's my fault. None of my, people I work with, none of their fault. It was my fault because I didn't make that time for me. And so I started finding burnout, and that's when things don't go right. And I heard, Kristen, realign yourself. Follow me. I will guide your way. So now I'm planning on every day meditating, because when I go within the kingdom of God, I will be shown how to serve that day. And I have to ask too, please show me how I can be of service to you today to change humanity in a way that's for the greater good of all. If we all asked ourselves that every single day, asked our higher self, internal, asked for guidance from the Creator, from guides, angels, whatever it is that you believe in, you will watch mountains move for you. But you have to ask. And they say, ask and you'll receive. But we don't ask. We try to do our will, not God's will. We need to sit and listen to what God's will is for us. And we all will be shown this little spark of light, of a gift, of a passion in us. We need to do that. At least try. If you can't do it every day, 5-10 minutes of what you enjoy. I love reading, I actually started writing some books. I wrote Manifesting Through Blessings and Unleash the Power of the Superconscious, Become a Co-Creator. And this is information of everything I've done over the last 3 years to co-create my reality using my superconscious. So again, these are on Amazon as well if you want to look for those. And what I'm doing is making really short books, because I know a lot of people don't have a lot of time. Like this book is 34 pages, but it's so packed with everything what you can do, the steps to understand the superconscious, how to use the superconscious, how to co-create your reality. I've created it as a Cliff Note version, and then I'm working on my full version that will be a few hundred pages that go into greater detail. But this is the Cliff Note version of what I'm writing now, and it's so powerful to understand this, because this is how we are going to be the change we want to see in this world. We have to connect to our superconscious. We've never been taught about a superconscious. We've been told we have a subconscious and a conscious and an unconscious. But no one ever told us it's superconscious. This is when we can connect to God. We can connect to our divine higher self. We can connect to angels. But you have to know how to get in there, into that superconscious. And we all have this ability. It is not given to one and just to Jesus and no one else. It's available. And that halo is the superconscious. The Christ conscious is another word for it. How to connect to that, to know your divine nature, to connect to your purpose and live it out, and watch how the money will find you. You may go, paint, like if you're a painter, I can't make money from painting. I have to have 10 jobs and this and that. Watch how things change. You think you know, because it's what has been your reality up until you connect with the superconscious. Okay? This is going to be a way to help you break free of the chains, realize you have choice, and that choice is your emotional state. How to elevate that emotional state to vibrate so high that you are a magnet to all of your desires, because they are waiting for you right now. If you had a thought of something you want, where do thoughts come from? From the quantum field, from the collective consciousness, from the infinite intelligence of the superconscious. It's there. If you go, I have a great idea, and then you go, forget it. That's your ego shutting you down from what could be your purpose, your gift that you are supposed to speak and bring to the world. And I want to awaken more people to listen to that soul spark that's connected to the superconscious, that hears it and brings it to life. This is the power we have, and this is what I want you to try and do. So again, if you want to join me on my 90-day, The Ultimate Success Blueprint is on Amazon. If you want to learn, you are into manifesting, understand how you can manifest through blessings, this book, I wrote it in a way so that way it could be for everyone. And this one has, let's see, this one's about 60 pages, but what it has is different blessings that I have written for so many different topics. So topics like understanding health, if you want a blessing for health and well-being, for relationships, for inner peace, personal growth, happiness, gratitude, forgiveness, serenity in chaotic times, freedom to express oneself, clear communication in relationships, strengthening intuition, spiritual awakening, opportunities for travel and exploration. Any desire you have, there's a blessing in here that you can read and then sit and meditate on it. And guys, when I started doing this for myself, that's why I created one with all of these different things. The blessings were happening. Like I said, I went in and I was grateful for, I said, a blessing for that farmer. He came. For the plant medicine healer. He came. Like, this is the power of our consciousness. And then if you don't understand what the superconscious is, again, unleash the power of the superconscious and become a co-creator. This Cliff Note version will literally help you understand what the superconscious is, how to connect to the superconscious, and start living from the superconscious, which is of the heart. You cannot connect to the superconscious unless you have an open heart and your soul is igniting to its truest potential and believing that you are a co-creator, believing you are a divine being, believing that you are made in the likeness and image of God, that you are a co-creator and we can co-create with God in order to bring the peace on earth that we want. We don't have to wait for Jesus to show up. It's the Christ consciousness that is going to help us. What would Jesus do? Start following these biblical messages in a way that is true to today to be the change we want to see, to bring heaven on earth. And I hope that this hits some souls to help me on this work of love and light, because the more of us who open our hearts and sit in love and light and gratitude and let go of judgment and start forgiving, not just for yourself, but for the other person, like not for the other person, but also for yourself, it's going to change your life. It is going to help you find your purpose and understand, why are you here? Because you were given a God-given gift that you may be hiding under a bushel, but you got to let it shine. Because when you do, that's how you will be the change that this world needs. And if we all awaken to our true potential and follow our purpose, we will bring heaven on earth. And this is the message and the energy that I want more people to start elevating to now before this lunar eclipse, because the state of vibration you're at is what you will get more of when that passes over. Okay, so get out of that fear. That's what, the 1% of the society wants us to be, is sitting in fear. Have faith that everything is God divinely created. And if we hear the message of be in love and light during this time, we will add that energy to the quantum field, to the collective consciousness, to the universe as a whole. And literally, that's how we're going to bring heaven on earth. But we have to do our part and elevate our vibration, which is our emotion, to one of love, joy, and happiness. Get out of the pain, sorrow, and grief. Elevate it. It's a choice we have. And yes, we have to work through it. We have to sit with those heavy emotions, those shadows. But the only way out is to go in. So go in where the kingdom of God is. You are protected. You are loved. And work through these emotions. And soon I'm going to be coming out with a group, a membership for people who want to remove these blocks from them energetically. Because yes, you can go and get coaching to remove them mentally. But if it's still energetically in your biofield, it's going to creep back in. It's just sitting dormant. And so removing this energetically, it will allow you to emanate more light in your biofield, which will increase your immune system. It will help you stay young and healthy, your body and organs working properly. You need to remove these energetic blocks that are stuck in your nervous system. But you start by doing that, by doing the work on meditating, praying, giving affirmations and gratitude for yourself and others, and watch how it transforms. All right, guys, this was a lot longer of a live than I expected or anticipated, but I hope someone got some information out of this in order to help them. And honestly, if you don't need to get these books, if you want, you can do all the work that I've done of researching. It took me 3 years to understand the superconscious to an extent that I live it now. But if you want to save time, you can get this. I think it's like $12 or something to understand. But I want more people to awaken to their superhuman potential. The superconscious is a realm that we can connect to God and get the information that we're looking for. We can get answers to everything. Why are we looking outside of ourselves? Like I said, do not conform to the patterns of this world. Be transformed by the renewing of your mind, and then you can test the true and pleasing will of God. It's in the Bible, Romans 12:2, but we've never been taught how, and that's connecting to our superconscious. Having blessings and watching the manifestations happen when we state these high vibrational words. That's it. High vibrational words. I made sure this was full of the highest vibrational words for gratitude, of blessing. I bless my journey with gratitude and steadfast, welcoming a continuous stream of divine guidance that upholds the value of honesty and integrity in every facet of my life. Words are powerful. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God, and the Word is God. The words we speak from our mouth are so powerful. And when we sit in a place of an open heart and speak these words out into the quantum field, they shoot out into this quantum field in a vibration that we're feeling at the moment. So you want to make sure you quiet your mind, you feel that love and joy, and then you read those words that come out and start trying to mean them. If you don't mean them now, by the end of these 90 days that you do this, you will go, wow, I live them. I am them. They're in my vibration. Each interaction becomes a sacred commitment of truth, and each decision carries the weight of mortal responsibility. We have a responsibility, a mortal responsibility, to have sacred communication of truth. Stop lying, being true to who we are. We are love and light. Let's be true to that. And welcoming in a continuous stream of divine guidance that comes through the superconscious and that upholds value of honesty, integrity in every facet of my life. Speaking these words are attracting this to me so I can literally have this within me vibrationally and without me in my reality projecting, because as within, so without, you dictate your reality, what you see. Do you want to create a destiny or a super destiny? Okay, because Super K lives and wants a super destiny. So that was just one of the small blurps on here from my honesty and integrity blessing. And just, I want to see everybody love life again, because it breaks my heart to see people living in that pain, shame, guilt, and grief. And I believe that's my purpose, is to share my message, share how I'm doing it in my life, be the product. Because, some people, they'll promote, manifestation and this and that, and they don't even manifest. They manifest, well, actually, we all manifest every single day. It's, what are you manifesting? Are you manifesting the good, or are you manifesting the bad? Because we are manifesting every second of the day. Our thoughts become things. Our words are vibration that attract back to us equal, not opposite, equal to what they are going out. So you want to make sure you watch your words, keep them, and my mother taught me this when I was younger. She said, keep your words soft and sweet, in case someday you have to eat them. And she said this to me as a child, and I never forgot that, because yes, we are eating our words. What we send out into the universe, quantum field, is going to find us some way, somehow because God only knows the word yes. You ask? Yes. Every word you speak, it's a yes. So when you're like, oh, I don't even want to say it, but if you, money-wise, I'm this, I'm that, well, yeah. He's going to continue to show you, because you're stating, I am is the most powerful words you could say. I am the great I am. It's in the Bible. When you say I am, you're stating to God what you believe you are. And you will be shown more that yes, you are. Okay? Because you choose. You have a choice to be what you want to be. And so when you say, I am, what am I? What do I want to be? I've got I am statements back here. I am joyful laughter. I'm a conduit for joyful laughter, finding humor in life's experiences and sharing the lightness of laughter with others. Life does not have to be so serious, guys. And when you cross over to the other side, you will realize this. Hopefully you don't have to realize it and wait if you read anything about near-death experiences and they come back changed, because they realized life wasn't as serious when they went on the other side for their life review and got a choice to come back. Many times, if you do any research on YouTube of finding people with near-death experiences, they all say, wow, I saw the true meaning of life, and it's to be that light and love that God intended us to be, to work in harmony and community, and stop taking life so seriously, because this is the school of life. We're learning about, who we are, why we're here. We agreed to forget when we came here, and our agreement was we will work to remember. But too many people, society has created it so we are distracted by who we truly are, by having to get a job we hate. I have been my own boss for over 20 years because I knew at a young age, and I heard this because I was very intuitive as a child and remembered my intuitiveness, and now am an intuitive again. We all are intuitive. So I hate to say again, I just remembered, and I use my intuition to guide my life every day. And I haven't shared this with many people, but I realized, and this is something we all have a gift of, is mediumship, connecting to ourselves. And mediumship is more than just speaking to spirits who have passed. It's understanding your ancestral history on the, 12 generations, whatever they went through in their lifetime emotionally is in our DNA. It's entangled with us. And we have a choice to heal that ancestral history, ancestral trauma, and break the curse. And that is something that when I started taking the mediumship class and understanding this ancestral history, I went, wow, now I know where that burden came from. Sometimes I can be a little feisty and want to be right. And I notice it, my mom does it. And that's where we might butt heads. My grandmother, her mother, it's generational. And that can be used as a blessing when you can control it and go, yes, you want to be right, but realize there's no right and wrong. And remember that judgment is wrong, so let them be right. It's a perception. I learned that, I let that go, and I've broken the curse from that. There's so many things that follow us that we go, why do I feel this way about this? It's not your burden, but it's in your lineage. But I didn't ever think of myself as a medium, but when I started, my grandmother passed away last August, and I asked to commune with her. And it was a beautiful thing because I actually heard her before her funeral. I heard her speaking to me, and she said because I asked her, Grandma, how can I connect with you? You're so spiritual. I want to connect and be able to communicate with you. How can I do this? And I heard, and it's not like it was a voice. So when I say that, I don't want you to think I'm schizophrenic or nuts. It was, the thought came through, and as if like I was imagining her in front of me, I sat there and I heard it so clear as day of her saying, let go of the pain and sorrow and fill your heart with joy and laughter, and then you can communicate with me. And I was like, wow. So I sat in my heart space for 20 minutes. I have a heart and brain coherence monitor, so I knew I was in my heart and elevated my emotions. And I'm going to share this story. Hold on, I'm just getting the book. Of something profound that happened. I haven't shared this with anyone, but you know what? It's coming through me, so I'm guessing it's the time to share it. And this is a long video, so I'm just going to let it keep being longer. So I ended up sitting, and I was like, okay. So I sat in my heart space. All right, Grandma, and it's funny, the grandma that gave me that Jesus picture, there was another thing I asked for. She was the sweetest old Italian lady. She died at 92. Actually 91. She was almost going to be 92. And she used to read tarot cards, but with a playing deck, playing cards. And she used to read my cards, whenever I'd go over there, and it was just fun. And so before she passed, 3 months I was over there, before she passed, she lives in Massachusetts, I'm in Florida. And she goes, is there anything you want in mind? And I told her about the Jesus picture. I said, actually, you know what? The playing cards that you read tarot with, I would love those. It just resonates with me. She goes, absolutely. I'll leave them for you. Those would be yours. That's yours. And so when we went to go clean out her house after she passed, while I was home before the funeral, we were looking for them and they were gone. And so I was going through the dumpster, like thinking someone threw them out. And the only thing I found were 2 books. And so I took the 2 books, and one of them was the complete book of fortune and how to reveal the secrets of the past, present, and future. And so I had this book sitting in the room at my dad's house I was staying at for the funeral, and it was near the door. And so I'm sitting there, I'm like, all right, Grandma, can you tell me where those cards went? I was looking through the dumpster. I don't know if you can communicate with me, but I'd love to know. And again, hearing that vibration and the voice of just knowingness in my mind, I heard, get the book. And I'm like, get the book. What does that mean? And so I went over and grabbed this book from the corner. It was next to my backpack. And I was like, this book? And I sat down. I'm like, okay, now what? And I heard, open the book. So, okay. So I opened the book. And it's funny because I kind of did the same thing now. And I heard, you don't need the cards. You have the key. So the page I opened to is Fortune Telling by Playing Cards. Well, then I was like, that's interesting. And I'm like, the page I opened up to, I was like, inside my head, I heard, you don't need the cards, you've got the key. And I'm like, the key to what? The key to what? Well, when I opened up to another page, it was showing the key of everything she wrote on every single one of those cards at the top of the cards. Every meaning of what the Ace of Diamonds means. Diamonds of Ace is an important document letter. And like, it breaks down everything. And so I started giggling to myself like, oh my gosh, do I really hear her? This is insane. And so I sat there, and there's a page in here. I can't find it right now. But I turned the page, and it said Old Italian Method. Right here. I just passed it. So this is an old Italian method. And I remember when I spoke to my grandmother that 3 months prior, I said, how did you learn how to do this? You know, I never thought of asking her. She goes, my mother taught me when I was younger. She taught me the old Italian method. So when I turned to that page, I was like, oh my gosh, she's really communicating with me. And I turned to the beginning of the book, and this book was published in 1936 was when this book was published. This was the book that her mother had given her when she was a child to learn this stuff, because she was a plant medicine healer. My great-grandmother was, which was my grandmother's mother. And so it's all coming around. And so when I started hearing that, I was like, wow, am I able to connect to spirits? And so my business partner, Destiny Dave from Super Destiny, I don't know if you remember him, he had messaged me the day of her funeral, not knowing that she had passed. I had messaged him because they had a hurricane in California and hadn't had one in forever. So we were checking on each other, and he told me, he goes, Kristen, I've been taking these mediumship classes, and it's crazy because he was a pastor for 7 years, and he just didn't believe in that stuff. And he goes, Kristen, this is real. It's amazing. I'm able to connect and help people heal from the grief of losing their loved ones. This is so beautiful. I really feel called to tell you about it. And I said, how funny. I connected with my grandmother last night, I believe, maybe. And it was no denying the fact that all this information came through with this book, answering my questions. And it was because I was in my heart space of love. We can connect to anyone. And just because, you know, I don't want to say I'm a medium, I'm still training, and I'm picking up these spirits for people, and it's profound, the information coming through. I'm not doing it as a business. I'm doing it more just to understand the quantum realm, the invisible realm, understanding who we are, know thyself, and being able to be of service to someone if it's the time to do so. But we all have this ability. This is our divine nature. This is what God intended us to awaken to. Jesus was able to do this. He could communicate with God and hear this information. This is how the Bible was written. It was given to them in this fashion. So mediumship and mediums are given such a bad name through like different belief systems of going, oh no, don't listen to it, it's woo-woo. Well, Jesus did the same thing. Yes, there are bad mediums, there are fake, this and that, but we all have this divine ability. So don't look at the word medium as, oh, don't trust mediums. Yes, there are some fake ones out there, but understand the concept of what they're doing. They're open. The only way to do it is to open your heart. You cannot channel or pick up spirits if you'll only pick up what your vibrational level is, and you want to pick up the highest healed vibrations. And so you're able to communicate with your higher self, with God, with ascended masters, with spirit guides, with angels. This is all possible. Some of you may be looking at me like, this woman's nuts, and that's okay if it doesn't resonate with you right now. But I'm going to tell you, it's going to resonate with the right people that are going to awaken to go, I need to raise my vibration. Because one, I would love to be able to connect with loved ones who pass, if that's your mission. But the mission here is to raise our vibration emotionally, to be the best version of ourselves, not just for ourselves, but for the collective consciousness of humanity. Be the change you want to see in this world. When you focus on being the change rather than waiting for Jesus to come and change the world, you might be waiting, and it might be not in your lifetime, but you have a choice right now to change your life, your destiny, and co-create your reality with the Creator by a vibrational state of gratitude, a desire. Visualize what it is that you want to create. What is in your heart? What is your passion in your heart? What is that purpose speaking to you? What is your soul telling you? Reignite it and follow that. Because when you do, find time to do it, even if you're busy. When you start doing that, you're going to watch doors open for you. Mountains move for you. Putting you in the perfect place at the perfect time to reap these abundant blessings that God wants us to awaken to. Life is meant to be fun, and it's a game. When you understand how the game is played, you can play it for the greater good of all, rather than for egotistical material things. Yes, manifesting, you can manifest material things. I've done it 1,000,001 times. However, it's more than that. Let's manifest heaven on earth and come to an agreement together as a collective consciousness that we will work to be the change we want to see in this world. And when we all do our part, when Jesus comes, if you're waiting for Jesus to come, when he comes, he'll go, you did what I did. You did what Jesus did. You followed your heart. You listened to the guidance of the super conscious. You followed your passion. You may be a healer and not know it. You may be, a comedian and not know it, bring him laughter. You may be a woodworker and not know it, and creating beautiful art with wood. You may be just someone who is able to open their heart so much to be that love and light and open, space for people to heal. Who knows? You are so much more than you may realize right now. And I want you to awaken to that divine nature of yourself. So please, if nothing else, if you don't want to do a 90-day challenge, do it today. You need to do it every day because it compounds. In 30 days, if you meditate 5 minutes a day, I promise you, your life will not look the same it does today if it's not what you want. And if it is what you want and you do it for 30 days, it will be more and greater than you could have ever imagined. When you do it for 90 days, you literally transform your life. And my life has been transformed, and I'm ready for the next transformation. And that's why I'm doing it again. 90 days to transform your life. It's no joke. Transform your life to the desire that you want and watch it unfold over and over and over again for the greater good of all. We all have to put in our hearts that intention that what we're doing for ourselves is for the greater good of all. Not to take more from people, not to, think there's not enough and you need it all. Do it for the greater good of all so others awaken to their divine nature and bring in the greater good for themselves and the world around them. And together, when we work on manifesting the positive in our life, yes, you may want some material things, good. Once you learn this manifestation protocol and everything that's in the Superconscious Be Co-Creator, if you don't already understand the secrets to it, you can do this, manifest what you want material, but also use it for a greater purpose of manifesting heaven on earth. Because with our collective consciousness, if we all shift, we can be that change. And I hope and pray that this message gets out to at least one beautiful soul who is ready to unlock their truest potential and make the rest of this year, make Q2, because 90 days will be Q2. Make that the change that will change the trajectory of your future of forever. It's our job to remember who we are and to serve with love, compassion, kindness, let go of that judgment. And it takes time to deprogram that judgment out of us. Because when we let go of that judgment and we fall into our hearts, we will emanate that magnetic field that's 60 times greater out of our heart than our mind and create the desire of our heart and for the heart of the whole. So, all right, on that note, wow, I've really gone over. I hope you have a blessed day and make today be the day you decide to change your life for you to be the best version of yourself. If there's something you're doing today that's a habit, try to work on breaking that habit and bring in a new habit of sitting with yourself, going within the kingdom of God within, and watch what unfolds and what messages are waiting for you. They're waiting for you to ask, to receive. And on that note, have a blessed day, and I'll catch you later.